Do you want me to introduce yourself? Do you want me to read a particular introduction?
Sure. I'm Shanika Malcolm. What can I say?
Oh wait, no.
About...
Let me before we.
When you're ready.
Just put this here. Gotta be perfect. I'm gonna start the recording and then I'm gonna put it in full screen and then I think we'll be good.
Okay.
Do you want to do a prayer before we start?
Yes. Ooh. I am so grateful for this meeting and this connection, and it's my heartfelt prayer that whatever transpired, whatever is expressed would be the perfect thing that needs to happen for this to reach the hearts and minds and spirits of all that this recording will reach. I'm so grateful that we're both walking in full courage and faith and in love and authenticity in our power, in our purpose, and in love. So may our collective work and effort be a prayer, an action, an offering of love for the liberation and the freedom and the upliftment and the awakening of every human being on this planet. Ashe, ashe, ashe.
Ashe, aho, amen. And it is so. I ask for this podcast to be an arrow in the goddess's hands, that every person that watches it, we offer up to the goddess, to Gaia, that they would have safety in unison with all of the new earth energies, the best of the new earth, that the people that need to watch this, it would be a fire would be put into them for this different way of living. And we ask for butterfly effects. We send out butterfly effects from this podcast that ripple throughout the world, and that this podcast would draw people to both of our channels, both of our endeavors, and would attract the people we need to meet, the most symbiotic and people attracted to life and healing and all of that. And we thank our ancestors too that are gathered around us. We thank you for the blessing of our ancestors, for them to come through us, and for all of the best spirits to come through us. Aho, amen, ashe, and it is so.
Aho for all my relations. So it is.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Hi, welcome to Lugal's World. We have the Moonchild here. So please tell us, please introduce yourself. And I'll just say I found her in Instagram doing like ecovillages and healing and diving into inspiring people to live from their soul, from their heart, to free themselves from different things, to live more eco-friendly. And I think you've been on like different, like you were on a survival show.
Yes, I was. That was a part of the journey that brought me here. I am Shanika Malcolm. I mean, I have so many titles and things I could talk about, but I will put it into one word. I am a planetary liberator. This is the message that was brought to me years ago, and I didn't fully understand it. But now I'm walking in my path and my purpose, and it's been made clear that that's what I'm here for. And if you are as well doing this work, you are too a planetary liberator, and that liberation starts with yourself. I'm a mother. I have 3 children. I'm a nature lover. I'm a doula. I'm a student midwife. I'm a healer. I'm a medicine woman. I'm a cosmic child.
I think you're like maybe third, or I have like 3 doulas or people connected to doulas. This channel is actually very dedicated to the nakshatra, like the ascendant Bharani, which is basically the jaws of nature, and it's all about life and death. I've focused so much on the afterlife and the things related to passing away and all of that and the roots. So
well, that's beautiful. You know, it's all connected. You know, we see life and death as separate things, but it's like this continuation of a cycle. And many of us, we embrace life and we don't make our peace with death. But I realize, like, when you're born, the only thing that you is guaranteed is that you're going to die. And what matters is how you spend that time from when you take your first breath and when you exhale that last breath.
yeah, I've thought a lot about the deaf process. I want to know, what would you tell my audience and anyone listening about how we can, how do we live? Because I would like to go back to a time where when we meet death, it's the starry womb of the mother. It's not like we have unfinished business. I want it to be a seamless transition. So how do we get there?
I would say first, know that death is an illusion. When you drop this physical body, your consciousness still lives and you go on. And depending on how you live in this life, I believe it will decide the transition and what is next. So if I can say one thing about death, live a good life, live authentically, live your medicine, and just be brave and courageous to like walk the path that there might be no path and you're making a path for others, but it's in living a good life that you ensure a good hereafter.
I was really inspired by one of your posts about basically the energy was when we live the way we need to, we pave the way for other people to do the same. Can you talk about that? About
Yeah. I mean, I believe that's been my journey. For me, it started like 20 plus years ago of getting back in tune with myself and these deeper truths. And it is through like doing the deeper healing work that I'm able to show up now in my full authenticity and power and love to be an inspiration and a guiding light for others. So it is my definite knowing that this is the work that we're all here to do, to become pure. We're already pure channels and vessels of the Most High. The work is clearing the channel from all the things that we picked up from this life and before, the conditioning, the trauma, the limited beliefs, the wounds, doing the inner work to liberate our being to the full light and love that is always within us. And I like to think of it like as the sun, right? If on a cloudy day, the clouds are blocking the sun, is the sun still not present? This is the love and the light that is available. That is our soul's medicine. It's always here, but the work is to remove those clouds that are blocking that love from fully manifesting and shining through us.
I love that. I was raised in this culture, very like teaching everyone they're a sinner and everything, and I realized the truth is quite the opposite. It's we're removing the excess.
Yeah, and it's a lot of those religious conditioning and programs that tell us we're sinners that create that framework within our minds where we have to earn God's love or we have to earn our holiness. You know what I mean? And we need to do away with those things because you're born sinless. You're born already divine. You know, it's just getting rid of those limited beliefs that hold us back. Because, you know, whether you think you can or you think you can't, it's true because you are a powerful creator of your reality. So many of us need to work on those limited thoughts and programs that keep us trapped in a matrix from accessing our full light. And this is why I love spirituality and not religion. And when I say this, my journey has been one of connecting to a lot of spiritual paths and looking for the truth and the medicine within them and leaving the dogma alone. You know what I mean? Because all paths, lead to God or source or back to yourself. But because of the years of tampering and conditioning and manipulation of that original message from all these enlightened teachers and beings that have been showing us the way, religion has been now a tool to actually suppress us and keep us from accessing that light, because now we need an intermediary. We're told we need a priest or someone else to facilitate that connection is always there. And you need to be brave enough to, face the demons within yourself. And like I like to say, we have to walk through hell to get to heaven. We're often, through religious programming, we're taught that you can't get to heaven until you die. But in my journey, I realized that hell and heaven is a state of mind. It's already here.
And that's how I met my awakening. Was I went to heaven first, and then I went to hell, and then I realized how nice the middle was. So it's so funny. My parents, they love to convert me and get me afraid of hell and like excited for heaven. But when I went to both places, I'm like, I love it here. I don't know. I'm not interested in either heaven or hell.
That sounds like the middle ground, the middle path.
They say, oh, there's no middle path. You can't do that. And I'm like, but you're right here. What's this? What's this then?
I mean, just like we actually exist in the middle path. We're in the physical and the spiritual, and we're that bridge and that connection, that rainbow bridge of the both worlds. It's all here, stacked upon itself, like multidimensionally. So when you're able to like expand your awareness from just being a physical being, and you're able to, tap into that spiritual reality, you understand who you are and your true power, and wake the fuck up.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's a smooth process, but for many of us, we have to go through deep suffering, before we actually hit that breaking point, and we've had enough, and we've gotten realizations and visitations from spirit, synchronizations, all the messages that are always around in our environment, but we're not able to see and actually, digest that light that is here.
That's why I love the I Ching, because it's like a portal. Like my ancestors literally came to me today and they're like, we have a message for you. And like, love that. Do you do any divination or any kind of like, or do you just receive
like over the many years, I've gone through like different paths, and a few years, not even a few, this was like 2014, I realized what channeling was and that I was a channel. And before that, what really put me on this path intensely and helped me to open my channel was in like 2011. I studied Kundalini Yoga Institute and Yogi Bhajan, and after that initiation and certification, I started to read Autobiography of a Yogi. And if you haven't read that book yet, I highly recommend it. After reading Autobiography of a Yogi, my deep prayer was that I want to find a Kriya yoga master. So Yogananda, his lineage is Kriya Yoga. And, they say Kriya Yoga is the lightning path to God. So when I heard that, I was like, what? I want to be on the lightning train.
And that's the energy I got today for the divination was thunder, lightning.
That's deep. Well, after I read that book and I put that prayer out into the universe, literally, I was living in Philly, and a friend of mine that lived in Brooklyn, he invited me up to the Yoga and Raw Food Expo. And there was like a booth, but it was for this Kriya yoga master from India, Yogi Raj. And I was just like, wow, wait a minute. it was like right in front of me, everything I asked for. I found a Kriya Yoga master. Maybe like 2 months later, I went to, he comes from India like every year and does like these activations and initiates you into Kriya Yoga. So a few months later, I was initiated into Kriya Yoga, and I started to do this practice like every day intensely. And the different practices clear out the different energy bodies in the field. And I reached a point in like 2014 where I had an intense awakening. For about 2 weeks, I was Christ. And I realized that I was given a gift because it was this spontaneous awakening where one morning, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was just up doing yoga and meditating. And this big portal like opened within my heart. And it was like all this light was coming in, and my heart just exploded. And I was in the most like bliss and love and higher consciousness in that space for 2 weeks. And so many things were revealed to me. And I was told that this is our original like way of being, to be in this heart power and presence and love. And it was like a preview of the state that I am to embody. And since then, during that time, like I said, I was meditating, and when I would meditate, after I meditate, I would have my journal next to me. So I would meditate, and then I just got the intense desire just to write. And I started writing, and the words weren't conscious, but they would just come through, and I would write. And then I realized, in research, I realized that I was channeling. And since then, I've just developed this way to communicate and listen to the information, the downloads that are coming in.
I would love if you could you ask for a download for the collective here, for anyone watching presently or in the future?
You are a beautiful being of love and light. You're blessed to find this channel and to receive this message and this wisdom. But it is up to you what you do with this knowledge, and will you take action to actually make it become wisdom. You have been guided all throughout your life. Everything that you've needed has always been there. And even this podcast, blog is a representation of that. You've been seeking for something deeper. You've been seeking healing. You've been seeking growth, enlightenment, however you want to call it. You've been seeking yourself. And it's time to look within and do that work that is necessary to embody that Christ consciousness, that love, which is in you, that you've been seeking for so long, in other people, in food and drugs and TV, all the things of the world that seeks to distract you. Turn it off. Turn it off and go within and connect to the light that is within your soul, that holds the medicine, that holds the gifts, that holds the love that you need to channel and be of service on this planet. It is the key for the transformation that we seek in the world. And it's dependent on you to awaken and be willing to walk through hell to get to heaven. It is all within you. Everything you seek is already here. Everything you seek is already here. Everything you seek is already here. And when you know and fully embody that piece of wisdom, you will move in full faith and trust in this reality, knowing that nothing can harm you, nothing can stop you or take you off the path. because everything that you need is already here and it is already within you. You just have to be willing and say yes. Say yes to the pain, say yes to the growth, say yes to the beauty, say yes to it all. Drop all resistance and coming to a place of deep acceptance. Oh, wow. Deep acceptance. Mm. Wow. Wow. Mm.
Do
And
you
if
want
you just
to?
take a deep breath with me, because I'm feeling all this energy and tingling. And this is like the download continuing, but it's energy that are beyond the words that you can absorb and feel right now. Whether if you listen to this now or later, you'll be able to receive the transmission and some of the activations that you need to help you move forward. So just let's take 3 deep breaths together. And when I say deep breaths, I mean fully bring in the oxygen from, outside of you down into the abdomen. And know that you're not just breathing oxygen, you're actually bringing prana and life force and spirit within you. And you need to fully breathe and open up to that light that is transmitted through the breath. And as you exhale, fully release all that no longer serves you, the stagnant energy that's in your body, the limited beliefs, the false programmings. As you inhale and you exhale and release all that no longer serves you, and you inhale the love and the wisdom and the knowing that is waiting to be awakened within you. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, guides. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow, that was powerful. Wow.
I'm having friends starting to awaken, having ascension symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
And probably a lot of people listening right now, that's the good seed planted there.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and anyone watching, put your experiences. If you start to have ascension symptoms after this, go and get other people watch this video too. Share it with your friends. And yeah, let's awaken as many people as possible.
And the key is nature. To facilitate your activation and awaken and to like quell those ascension symptoms, you need to get out into nature and just be. You need to have space where your mind can just rest, your body can rest. So I highly recommend to get into nature as much as you can. If you can camp and like spend a few days in nature and let it just work on you, that's the best thing you can do. You don't need a lot of other things. You just need to rest in nature.
So tell us about communities and nature and the new earth and all that.
It's been an amazing journey. Like since I was like 21, I had this vision of community, and it was this longing for something that I've known and experienced. And the wisdom that came through me was that it was like from another time. I have an affinity to the Pleiades. And what I was told was that I lived in community and in love, and my soul remembers it, and it longs for it to create it in this life. and that it is possible to create that with the new earth. But we have to be willing to let go of the old world and the old ways of being, to fully come into the readiness to be in community. Because the ways that we've learned through our societal conditionings and our parents and, you know, all the shit of the matrix, we need to be able to let those things go, because it's gonna inhibit our ability to show up in community in full presence and in full love if we still have a lot of those programmings and limitations and ways of being, of survival, of fear, of competition. All those things we need to heal and let go, so that when we're in these communities, we can actually be successful. Because as I've seen, it's through our closest relationships that activate us the most. And when you're in community with people, all your shit is going to come up, all your shadows, all your fears, all your patterns of your mind and your emotional reactivity. So the best thing that you can do right now is to work on yourself and heal those things within you. So when it is time to graduate to that level of livity, you'll be ready. So I'm very passionate about, you know, bringing this message and encouraging people to do that deeper healing and work to prepare for the new earth, to prepare to live in nature and in harmony in these beautiful communities that we're all like dreaming of. So
Can you
since
take us to a prayer and affirmation? I was feeling like there's something with everything you just say that we can like affirm or pray, or some visualization or something that will help us enter into that.
What I'm seeing is like, I'm seeing like someone sitting in the lotus pose, and you're sitting in nature, and there's like a halo around you, and you're just sitting in the light and the power and the presence of who you truly are. And the affirmation is, I am, I am, I am, I am, I am. And if you can meditate, sit like that, visualize it, and just affirm that I am, I am, I am. And as you're affirming I am, I am, I am, there'll be different words that will come into your consciousness that is unique to you, that you need to listen for and affirm. So it could be anything. It could be, I am the light of God. I am a rainbow warrior. I am the love that I seek. I am the new earth. Whatever comes to you to affirm, by first sitting into that meditative pose and connecting with the deepest part of you, of who you really are. And just visualize your heart opening up and the activation of the toroidal field. Feel that. And when you connect to that love and that soul, that medicine that is within you, and affirm I am, it will clear and guide the way. And if you can do that in nature, it's like heightened 100-fold.
I'm gonna light a candle for people to. Let me get my let's see here. This will be fine. So I'm gonna light this candle for everyone watching. I thank the universe. I thank their ancestors. For everyone who desires what was talked about, I thank the angels and the guides, and also the benevolent daemons for bringing in that nature spot for them, for bringing in all of the connections and all of the community, the eco-village. I thank you that it's done, that they have that place. Everyone listening, just visualize that place you want to be at and say, I receive. Text or not, or comment, I receive. If you receive that nature spot for yourself, if you receive your, you know, whatever you need to happen from the universe for that to happen. And I want you to take every night before you go to bed, write down these things that you want and thank the universe for it. And what would it feel like? And then go and put into action, go and search. I'm going to put different links in the description so you can get involved with Moonchild, and you can look into the different options as, yeah, but more importantly is your connection to Gaia and your connection to your guides as they take you to this nature spot and to the community that your soul is awakening to. Steiner said that the next age after this one is the age of brotherly sisterly love. Like, I think it's like 2,000 years. It's probably even more than that, where we connect to each other. I mean, this has been most of the human history has been a story of connection and not separation. A lot of it. So.
And as you lit that candle from the other candle, it reminds me of the light that's within all of us. And it's like when that light is awakened within you and you're really walking on your path, you're going to touch and impact so many people. So this is the importance of all of us. And living in this world, you can sometimes feel like you're not enough, or you can't change the world or make an impact. But the biggest thing that you can do is to change yourself from a fear-based reality to a loving reality. And for all of you listening now, I see that flame activating within your heart. And the more that you're able to be of service and to share that flame and give love, know that giving is receiving. As you give to your brother, as you give to your sister, you're giving to yourself. So it's about being of service and giving unconditionally, knowing that there is no loss. We've been programmed to look at giving as losing, but if we're all connected, you're really giving to yourself, and it will come back to you in some way, shape, or form. And it's our ability to trust that and to trust the journey, to trust in the universe to give us what we need and to provide. Then we know that there is no loss. There's only abundance. There's blessings and lessons, and to be able to say yes to it all.
Can you talk more about the ecovillages and yeah?
Yes. So when I lived in the United States, I visited a few ecovillages, and what really inspired me on a different level was my children. Reflecting on my own life and how I grew up, and knowing that I wanted a different reality for my children where they could be more held and supported and be in community, that really put me on the path to seeking and actually moving to a community. Like, I think that's one of the things I admire most about myself, is like this spirit where I would just go. I didn't let the fear stop me from going. It's like, all right, my soul is longing for this experience. Okay, I put it out into the universe. It falls into place, and then I'm like, all right, I'm going. And, I was talking, I had a session with this woman that was traveling. She came to my town and seen one of my flyers for my services. And she was just sharing how she's almost 30 and, she's in her Saturn return, and that she just feels kind of stuck in her life because she did not want to make a decision, being in fear that the decision she would make would be the wrong one and she'd be stuck. And my biggest message to her was like, not making a choice or a decision, you're making one by default. And knowing that when you make a choice, it is not carved in stone. You can make another decision, you can make new agreements, and you can always change and begin again. So that is a big message to you all. You can make new agreements, you can begin again. Don't be afraid to walk the path that I changed.
The book of changes. It's literally
Yes.
the book of changes. So
Mm.
I recommend the I Ching for people, helping them navigate stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so yes, for some reason I was supposed to mention her. But yeah, I'm really passionate about eco villages because I see how it's the solution to like all of our problems.
Exactly. That's why I'm transitioning my channel to more earthiness.
Mm-hmm.
And because that's I think what I believe in more than anything else is eco
Mm-hmm.
villages solving the world's problems.
Yeah,
So
because in this system that we're in of capitalism, colonization, consumerism, all of our basic needs have now been commodified, and you have to pay to play. You have to pay to basically live. You know, I'm surprised that air is still free
yeah,
because, we're paying for water, we're paying for everything else when nature provides it for free. So if you really want to experience freedom, it is in reestablishing your connection to land and stewarding land that will give you that freedom. And, if you look into history long ago, it was when land, someone decided that we're going to own the land and we're going to sell it back to you. It's going to be commodified, that we started to see the shift in society and people being enslaved. Today we're not shackled like this. The shackles are right here. The shackles are right here on our hearts. So the more that we can connect to land, which will provide all of our needs, and to do that within community, because we're not
most
meant to do
most
it alone.
people's shackles are right here.
Right there, yeah.
There's shackles.
Yeah. The biggest thing that you really have is your awareness and where you direct it. But if your awareness is always being hijacked, your creative energy of the mind, of your consciousness, you're not going to have the time to create, because you're always consuming whatever is being fed to you on this device, whatever is being fed to you by the media.
While
And
I'm consuming an apple.
so when you can realize that all the solutions are directly connected to the planet and our stewarding of the planet, because we're not separate from the planet. What happens to the waters happen to us. We need
I
to.
know what you and I are. I know what you and I are. And I had this realization with my friends. So it's like the Garden of Eden. You have like the serpent that takes people away from the garden. We're like basically, you and I are basically like a serpent in the garden. But we're like, hey, there's a tree that's like super good. It's the tree of life. We're like, we're totally. But Eve is like, she's like just a technological person. Eve is just never tried life, and we're like telling
Mhm,
people to eat from the apple of life. It's so nice.
mhm. Yeah, we are that serpent. We're that kundalini, awakening to the power within you. And you got to kind of flow with it. But yeah, I'm passionate about eco villages. In 2019, I moved to the farm in Summertown, Tennessee. And the farm is one of the like oldest intentional communities. It started as a hippie commune. And I literally just packed my car up, and me and my kids drove down there, me and my three girls. We drove, and we just started there. We ended up staying there a little bit more than a year.
Wow.
And I really loved the community, but there was just a lot of stagnation. You have what was called like the first generation. So those were like the original hippies that went there in the 70s and established the land and the community. Then you had the second generation, which were their kids, who were like my age in the 30s. And then you had the third generation, which was the grandkids of those original, members. But it was always like this dynamic of like the older, original people that were there, and them wanting to hold on to how things are and not wanting to shift and kind of create a way for the young people to kind of bring a new energy to it. So we didn't end up staying there. And one other thing was that we were the only family of color. Um, and that kind of makes it challenging when there's not that diversity and that inclusion there. For me, I love all people. I'm able to go into all spaces and relate to all people, no matter what their color, no matter what, you know what I mean? So in essence, it wasn't a problem, to be the only person of color there. It was just the different dynamics and, like certain biases and things that can come out when you're not um, aware, you know what I mean? And have done that work to be more diverse and inclusive. And then I really thought I was gonna live there like for a while, but like Spirit does, it was like it's time to go. This was right when COVID started up. So this was like February 2020, like when you started hearing
Which
about.
day of February? I'm curious.
I don't remember exactly, but I just remember Spirit being like, it's time to go. And I literally packed I like packed I got a U-Haul van, packed everything in there, and we just left. We didn't know we didn't have like a place to go or anything. We just left and went to Georgia. We went to Atlanta. My oldest two children, their father lives in Georgia, and then my brother lives in Huntsville. So, in that time when I migrated south from Philadelphia, he followed me and he went to Huntsville, Alabama, which was an hour and a half from where I lived at the farm. So in that process, in that transition, he helped me just put all my stuff in a storage unit, and me and my kids kind of like took it from there. We were like, homeless for a bit, staying with some different people. And then we eventually, got our own place. So yeah, I just been on that journey. 2020, 2021, I got the opportunity to do Naked and Afraid. So I eventually, this was May 21st, I got on a plane and went to Mexico. And that was the day.
I bet you were naked and unafraid.
And actually, that's what I say. Like, I say naked and unafraid.
Yeah.
But on that show and that challenge, it was just a deep trust in Spirit, because to even leave the United States, I knew there was a chance that I couldn't come back. A little backstory, I was born in Jamaica and my parents took me to the States when I was 6. And I grew up undocumented. So I didn't have a social security number. I didn't have all these things. So when I was about to graduate high school and everyone was doing like FAFSA and deciding on their school and what was next for their life, I was hit with that, reality that that path that everyone else was walking, I couldn't walk. And that kind of, pushed me into seeking different avenues and learning how to navigate in the matrix. So when I jumped forward, when I was leaving to go to Mexico and do the show, I knew there was a chance that I couldn't come back. And it was like a moment where it was like, all right, Spirit, all right, ancestors. Um, it was a prayerful moment, and the guidance was like, go. You're given this opportunity to do something like amazing, once in a lifetime. I did it again, so it wasn't once in a lifetime, but I had to do it the first time and go through that process and trust. And I did it. I did it in Mexico. I ended up not going back to the United States. Like, I had my ticket to go back, but the guidance was not to go back, because I would have been, detained, and that could have been a long process of, being in immigration and ICE, and so it was like, just stay where you are. This is exactly where you're meant to be. And in just trusting that process, life has been unfolding so beautifully. And if that's the one thing I can say, is trust the process. And I think in my life, I've developed like a deep trust in Spirit and in my journey. And even when I don't know what is next, I trust that I'll be guided to where I need to be, who I need to meet, all the things that need to happen. I already know, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, and for a lot, I just did a reading for one of my like super close dear friends, And part of the reading was that like he would have all the success he ever wanted, like from like his true self, and but he's going to end up as a refugee. He's going to leave his hometown, which is in the United States. So there's going to be something that happens. He's going to have to flee, but it's actually his life is going to be a lot better than it was before. So we think, oh no, I have to leave the country or have to leave this. Or, no, it's like not a fearful thing. It's wow, you're going somewhere where you need to be, where you can thrive, where your soul can grow. So don't see if you have to leave everything. Know that spirit has something better for you, has something that, you know, and really trust that. And I encourage everyone, talk to Gaia, talk to the earth, you know, start to commune, you know, give little food offerings and stuff, start to pave that path and make your alliance known, make your alliance known to the spirits and the things around you, and start to talk to them. I think our relationship with the divine and with Gaia, with all of this, is going to increase, especially as the chaos in the earth increases. March and April are going to be really intense, taking us into the new worlds. I hope I'm preparing some people to start choosing their liberation.
Yeah. And with talking to the earth, you have to be able to listen. And this is where these practices are very important, to be able to quiet the monkey mind and to not just be attuned to the voice of the ego and fear, but to quiet it so that you can hear when the earth is talking to you, when your guides are talking to you, when spirit, when your own higher self is talking to you. And being able to tap into that intuitive wisdom, that's all you need. Like, many people are asking for things and calling things in their reality, and the answers are coming, but you're not able to hear because you're not able to sit still and surrender. And, you know, when you ask for something, there's that kind of lag in time for it to show up in your reality. And if you ask for something and you're not sitting in the receptive mode to receive it and to trust when it comes, you're going to miss the boat. So it's very important to be able to listen.
And that's what that's where I came from. I came sounding like a robot, like, or that's the programming. And my friend too. And through a lot of shadow work, like he used to, and I had a similar thing, but my friend, I was able to take him through a process. His default emotion was contempt, just continual contempt. But through going into that receptivity, first and foremost to himself, I literally see his soul. Like, you can literally go from a complete energy vampire if you just listen to your soul and listen to your body. Like, all of the healing comes. It's that miraculous. So I encourage everyone listening to this, try to spend an hour a day and just sit and listen to your body, listen to your fears, listen to all those things, invite in, nourish your darkness, and you'll become whole. That is the slogan for this whole channel. Is feed your darkness with your acceptance, with your compassion. True humility is not something you do on the outside. It's something you do in the inside of your soul that no one sees except you, with yourself. That's where where it births in us.
And, you know, like, be willing to ask the questions and then listen to the answers that come. And it can be as simple as anything. You can ask about anything, you know, like, should I go here or should I go there? Like, the most simplest things, you ask and then just listen for what comes and trust it. And the intuition is like a muscle. The more you use it, the more you'll develop that strength and that conviction to be able to trust when the answers come, and then to take action. As many of us are afraid to take action, but that's where the magic lies. You can have all the wisdom, you can read all the books, you can attend all the workshops and the certifications, but if you don't take action, none of it's going to change your life.
Exactly. So we gotta take action. If you're somebody, I know a lot of people have difficult with taking action, visualize the action you want to take right before you go to bed, and it programs your subconscious, and give thanks for it. The visualization, it forms a gravity. The more you bring that in, and that's why it's so important for us, like podcasts like these, for us to come together and have the same vision, and show people this new vision of the new earth, to prophesy it, to bring it forth. It charges that. So maybe in closing, can you take us into a visualization manifestation of the new earth, of these eco villages, of these things? I would love for us to all, really charge together and be on the same timeline. Really bring
Yeah,
that
but
and choose
I
it.
want to say one more thing. When this is something I realized, whenever you put an intention out into the world, you're going to feel some resistance. The parts of you that are scared of the change, the parts of you that have the doubt, that have the fear, that is going to come up within you as those resistance and those emotions. It's like a speed bump. You're trying to go fast and get somewhere, but there's a speed bump. And that speed bump represents the resistance within you that's going to show up as emotions, as your patterns, and as those thoughts. And the thing that you need to do is go into that darkness and sit with it, and process those emotions instead of distracting yourself. And this is something that I've seen again and again within myself. And I've just like realized what's going on. It's the resistance. And this is the reason why you haven't been able to create it, before. But every opportunity is like a desire for creating something new. So when you put those intentions out there, just know that some resistance and residuals from, the lesser self, the self that you've identified with, and, the all those things are on the next side of that. And I loved what you said about sharing the vision. There's a process called dragon dreaming, and it's a process that's used for like co-creation, and a big thing about dragon dreaming is to share your vision and share your dreams with other people. And when you share something like a vision or a dream and an idea, it is actually being multiplied. People are feeding that. The purpose of dragon dreaming is to dream, plan, execute, and then celebrate. As earth peoples, as tribal peoples, celebration is always important. It's like the last step of that cycle. So for me, I'm always celebrating, always, because when you understand what celebration is, it's a ritual of, gratitude, of like just gratitude and love, and you're building all this energy, and you're like, yes, universe, yes. You know what I mean? It's a very powerful thing to celebrate and to raise that vibration through whatever practices you do. For me, I love to sing. Recently, I've been going to the ocean, and I just been singing, and I've just been sending all this love and vibration into the waters. And that's what I've been called to share with people more. The power of the waters and the power of your love and your intention. All the waters around the planet are connected. Here, we have a lot of rivers, and one of my favorite spots is where the river meets the ocean. And if you can go to a body of water, connect with the love, the vision that you have for the new earth, for humanity, and you hold that vibration of love and higher consciousness and of the new earth and eco-villages, and then you put that energy into the waters, knowing that that vibration is going to ripple around the planet and feed into the change that we're all wishing to co-create. So for this visualization and meditation, I want you to close your eyes and connect with your inner child, the one that is curious, the one that is excited, the one that is joyous, and the one that is just brimming with life and energy. He's in there. He's in there. Connect to that one. Connect to your heart and just feel that energy for a moment. That inner child that represents your heart, your soul, before any limitations were put upon you, before any trauma, before any conditioning. That one that is just so in love with life, so filled with light. Connect to that one. And if you can see that inner child right in front of you, call it forward and just open your arms and just pull them in. Hug yourself and just merge fully with that radiant one, that radiant child. And just take a minute to feel that energy and ask your soul and that inner child what their deepest desires are. The deepest desires, and feel into that. Allow yourself to dream and to feel into the possibilities, the infinite possibilities that are open and available to you. Woo! And just see your inner child. Maybe they're naked and barefoot and they're walking on the planet and they're just free and they're open. And that inner child is just walking around and you're walking through the forest and you see the birds, they're chirping. You see the animals. And you're coming on this path, walking and walking, walking barefoot on this path. And you're right at the edge of your village. You're right at the edge of your village. And you walk into the village. And there's a grand celebration happening. A grand celebration. And this celebration, they're celebrating your return to your family and your soul tribe. They're so happy to see you. They're so happy that you decided to walk this path back home to yourself. All of your peoples are there, whether it be your lover, your children, whether you have them right now or not, but they're there. They're there. Your soul tribe, your family, they're there. And everyone is dancing and celebrating your return home, your return to yourself. And just visualize what that tribe looks like. What does the village look like? And what's more importantly is how you feel in that moment, knowing that you're home and you're right where you're supposed to be, living your purpose, which is to be love and express the love and the medicine that is within you. Just feel into this energy. And it's already here. It's already here. It's already here. If you can imagine it, if you can feel it, it's already has been created. And just take a minute to take a deep breath and to fully embody these energies within every cell of your being. Just take a minute to tap onto your heart. Tap onto that thymus. And you're anchoring this energy within your body. And it is available and accessible to you anytime you desire. Anytime that you're experiencing doubt and fear, the old programming. Tap onto your thymus and your heart center and just visualize that radiant one that you are, walking barefoot, naked and free and wild on that path, home, back to yourself.
Because it's safe by that time that already had happened. So,
and just take a minute to listen to your body and just do any movements that you're called to do. And I encourage that after you listen to this conversation, you put some music on and you dance. You celebrate this creation that we're all creating, this new earth, connecting to our soul tribe and our medicine, and celebrate because it's already here. It's inevitable.
So here it's by the time.
Wow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow, I really just full enjoyed this conversation fully.
Yes, thank you. It's an honor to have you here. And everyone, share this. Everyone who needs, you want to bring them to the new earth. This is the start. It starts with the ideas. It starts in the hearts. And then from the hearts and the ideas, then we transition into actions. And our actions ripple throughout the whole world. So share this, get this out there. It's going to bless the internet as it goes through the air. It's going to bless everything it touches. And if you resonate with this, check out Moonchild, check out her Instagram, check out all the links below. Consider supporting her, sending her love, looking at all of her Instagram pages, sending likes and comments. Please share any experiences that you have from this video. Come back and give gratitude. The universe loves when you give gratitude. So share about your awakening, share about different things you're pondering. If you feel there's an eco-village or someone connected to the like New Earth kind of things, don't hesitate to send them to this channel. I'm expanding the channel. I'm going to have a lot of people partnering with it in these endeavors. So I'm always looking for new connections. Please consider supporting myself, supporting this channel if you feel called, as well as yeah.
And if I can add is that I'm in Colombia and you can come and join me. In March 9th to the 23rd, I'm having a 2-week equinox, Ecovillage immersion and retreat. We're planting seeds for a new reality. So this is not just any kind of retreat. This is 2 weeks in deep connection with the land, in community and in ceremony. And I'll be hosting these. Spirit gave me the vision 4 times a year around the equinoxes and the solstices. So we'll be sitting with one another on the land in ceremony, in deep medicine and healing, and planting these seeds and celebrating during these key points of the year. So if that resonates with you, this is how we're, like I said, planting the seeds for a new reality.
All right, everyone. Blessings from the mother to everyone. Wow, that was so powerful. And the music, I literally had music just come on right now when you talked about afterwards, right when I clicked